Filoniverse, and what the Filoniverse is like the creators of the Mandalorian. Their names Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. They're like supposedly taking over Star Wars. So pretty much that's been confirmed at the new investor meeting because they said that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are doing shows. So what the Filoniverse really was like a bunch of shows that were rumored to like culminate into one episode, and the shows would have like one episode climax for all of them. Like, so they would all climax in the same episode, or maybe even like a movie or something, right? So that was confirmed. Pretty much. There's two shows, the Ahsoka show and this show called Rangers of the Republic. And they're both going to combine with the Mandalorian for one final episode, and they're going to have a shared climax. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if you'll have any thoughts on that, but I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sort of like how Marvel and DC do their stuff, man. Like how like
Right.
everything coincides with each other. I love
Yeah,
that type of stuff.
I was thinking the same thing. But that's how Star Wars should always be, I think. Like we should like I don't know why it's like a novel idea for there to be a like a connected universe. Like that's how Star Wars is. Like that's how it
Yeah,
should be.
like if anything, it's more or less like it seems weirder whenever Marvel would like coincide with each other. Cause I don't. To me, it's like those are two separate universes or something. But it's like with Star Wars, I mean, it's all you can't have. Well, I was about to say you can't have different galaxies, but you can have different galaxies. But you can't have like, you know what I'm saying? Like that
Yeah.
one giant like system. You know, they're all connected. Yeah, of course. I think they should all like be connected like that.
Okay,
I
so I'll
think
just
that
like run through the like the plots of the new shows or like whatever we know like what we know so far of the Filoniverse shows. So we have the Rangers of the New Republic, which is probably you haven't watched The Mandalorian, have you?
I've seen a couple of episodes, but I haven't watched too much.
Okay, so it's like a spin-off for one of the characters from The Mandalorian. Not much to talk about with that because yeah, we don't know much about that show yet, but it's going to be about Cara Dune. It might be cool. I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be that cool, but they proved me wrong before, so I'll stay optimistic about it. But do you know who Ahsoka is?
Yeah.
So the other one is about Ahsoka, and it's tough for me to talk about with you because it's about a lot about the animated shows. But she's going to be going find Ezra and Thrawn in the show, so that's not gonna mean much to you. But for the people watching, that's a pretty big deal. Um, three new volumes being built in other countries. I showed you what the volumes are before from the making of the Mandalorian. Instead of using green screen, they're using one big screen, and like they're not using any green screen technology at all. Like it's all like it looks way more practical and way more real because of the volume. And they're making three more of those. That just shows like how much like production's going on right now. Like how much they want to like ramp up the production. That's whatever. But um Cassian Andor, you know who that is, huh? From Rogue One. The
Yeah.
Cassian dude. So he's getting his own show. You got any interest in that?
Yeah, no, definitely. I'm to be honest with you, I'm way more excited about the upcoming shows that are gonna be like coming up. To me, I just The Mandalorian. Uh, I don't know, they had a lot of hype on it, but I was gonna take some time and like watch them all, more or less like have it be more like a movie type of setup. Like
Yeah.
watch like all of season one at once, watch all of season two at once. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, no, definitely like a lot of these new series, it's cool because they're going into characters that I really am like. I want to get to know more about them. Like Ahsoka, I want to watch that one because I liked her a little bit in Clone Wars. Whenever I watched a little bit of it.
You gotta watch The Mandalorian then.
Yeah, no, I heard she's in The Mandalorian too.
Yeah,
I heard she's in season two.
her episode is really good too. You gotta watch it.
Is
I
she
don't
in
know.
it like more than just one episode or no?
Well, the season's not over yet, but so far it's been one episode, which she might show up in the finale. Nobody really knows, but I don't think so. I think they were just kind of setting her up for like for her own show, because that was the rumor the whole time that they would like just set Ahsoka up for her own show in The Mandalorian, and that ended up being exactly what happened. so I don't think she'll show up anymore. But she might. Who knows? I don't know. For the Cassian Andor show, I wasn't like too excited before, but now that we have more details, I am actually pretty excited. It's supposed to be a spy thriller, and it's gonna be 12 episodes long, so that's longer than most Star Wars shows. I don't know. I really wasn't excited. Like, even after I heard spy thriller, I was like, yeah, whatever. I don't even like those movies that much anyway. But once they started showing the footage and all, that really that got me kind of hyped for it, because the footage actually looked pretty cool. Like the feel of the show, it felt pretty cool. I liked it.
Disney's definitely in their bag right now. Like I'm just gonna straight up and say that. Like they keep on hitting it on every like freaking target, dude. Like this Andor stuff, yeah. Like what I'm saying, they can really turn anything into a whole, I don't know, motion picture or something like that.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, they got like the Mandalorian's like an 8 episode series, and I got some problems with it. But it's $120 million budget, and that's for 8 episodes. Like, that's more than most feature films. That's a lot more than most feature films. And I feel like they're not taking full advantage of it sometimes. Like, I did some videos on that, on like what the real problem is with the Mandalorian. It's too many like filler episodes and all. But it's a pretty
yeah,
like
the technology that you was talking about, how it's like the green screen. Well, it's not a green screen, but it's like that just one giant screen.
yeah.
I seen the video on that. The technology is getting like
That's
it's getting
unreal,
insane,
dude.
bro. Yeah, dude.
That's the future. Like, I swear that technology is the future of cinema. Not just Star Wars, not just Disney, and not just TV. Like, that's the future of cinema in general. That's gonna take over.
Most definitely.
Days
Most
of the green
definitely.
screen are over. But
For real, the green screen gonna be like that old time like technology. That's gonna be crazy.
that's crazy, because it feels like we just got the green screen like 10 years
Yeah.
ago. Like, they're just starting to get good at CGI stuff, and now we're going back to practical already. But
Wow.
anyway, I don't know. I'll stay optimistic about Cassian Andor. I don't care too much about it, but
Did you like his character in the movie?
there's not really much to like. It's just like a bland character. Like, the movie's not really about him. There wasn't really like a character filled episode. I mean, movie. I wouldn't think. It was more just like about the overall story. Just a war movie. It's not like they
Yep.
didn't develop his character too much, but it could
Nah,
be
I had
interesting.
I had more like emotional connection to that blind dude. If they would have made a story about the blind dude, that'd be cool.
They really should, dude. That'd
Yeah,
be
they would
cool.
make some. That would be dope. I'd watch that.
But I don't know. The people that are attached to it, it's got good people running it. Got good people producing it and directing it. And Diego Luna seems like, who's the guy that plays Cassian Andor. He's really excited about it. So whatever, keep some optimism about it. But the Obi-Wan show is what we're gonna talk about next. And obviously
I'm
that's what everybody's most excited for. Before we start talking about it, I'll just say the details that we know. The show will take place 10 years after Revenge of the Sith. Hayden Christensen's coming back as Darth Vader. And he might even have some flashbacks as Anakin from the Clone Wars. That's what I want to see. Live action Clone Wars episodes with Obi-Wan and Anakin. So,
cool.
First of all, what do you think about the Obi-Wan show? Like, what are you looking forward to seeing in the show? And then we'll talk about Hayden after.
I'm most excited about. I mean, I like Obi-Wan. I know that a lot of people like you always tell me that he's like the weakest Jedi and all that stuff, which I mean is true. Like, but I want to see. Not only am I excited about where they're gonna go after the third episode, but like I want to see a little bit more on Obi-Wan's history, like on his past, like different. Because I'm sure they're gonna do that. Like I'm sure they're gonna do like flashbacks to whenever he was like a younger Jedi and all that. And I know that they did that in the first couple of episodes, but they definitely could go deeper into his like lore.
Like PTSD and stuff. That's what I want to see. Like, because
Yeah,
you know he has some mental issues. Like, after going through what he went through, he had to, like, he thinks he killed his brother, like his best friend, and like
yeah,
all of his other friends are dead too. Like,
yeah.
you know, he has
No,
to have
that's
some
gonna be dope.
serious PTSD. But yeah, I mean, 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, what like all we know about Obi-Wan at that point is that he was on Tatooine, like watching over Luke. But I really hope that they go off planet. Like that's the main thing for me. Like I hope they don't stay on Tatooine the whole time. They got to go off planet.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think it'd be cool if they even had like him go by Yoda a little bit more too. I mean,
Yeah, that would be
'cause, I
really
mean
cool.
he's still gonna be alive and all that. You know?
Yeah, there's no reason for them to not do that.
Yeah. Because he probably that's like the like you said like all his other friends did die. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
they still have so many characters they can use in that show. Like they still have the Emperor they could bring back. You know what I'm saying? Like just so many people are gonna be making appearances that we haven't seen in so long. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude.
You be able to see Mace Wind. Oh wait, no.
Nah, dude, he could. He might not be dead. Seriously, dude. He might come back in the Mandalorian, but that's for another time. But
Dude. But,
for
I need to
me,
watch it.
yeah, you do need to. You do need to. But
Have to.
for Obi-Wan, I don't know. Like, I'm really excited for it, but I'm also, for one, we gotta wait till 2022 to see it. For two, I'm really scared about the Tatooine thing because I feel like the show could be extremely boring and extremely repetitive if they stay on Tatooine the whole time and just watch over Luke. But I don't see a way that they could bring Vader into it, which we're not getting to that yet. I don't see a way that they bring Vader into it if they do stay on Tatooine. Like that doesn't make any sense. So they have to go off world for that. But it's also only 8 episodes and there's only 1 season confirmed. So we're getting 8 episodes or maybe less than 8. I'm not sure. It's between 4 and 8 episodes and 1 season confirmed. So it's probably going to be like, I would say either 30-minute episodes with 8 episodes or 4 episodes and an hour-long episode apiece. So either way, we're probably going to get around it's pretty much going to be like a 4-hour movie, which that's cool. Like I wish there was more, but it's better than nothing.
Who do you think wins in a fight?
Okay, hold on.
Oh my bad. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously, unless you've been living under a rock, you know Hayden Christensen got cast as Darth Vader again. I'm extremely excited. But last week when we did this, Dylan was hating on Hayden a little bit. So obviously, I hate like Hayden's Anakin was what really got me hooked on Star Wars. So I'm ecstatic about it. But what do you think about Hayden being recast as Vader?
To be honest with you, I'm not the biggest like on him. I really don't like the Hayden dude. Like he's garbage, son. Like he's really not that good, bro. He's garbage, bro. He's really not that good. He's nowhere. I don't see him being. The only way he's intimidating as Vader is if he doesn't talk as much, for real. If he, who knows, bro? I mean, is he gonna be like? You gonna be able to see his face, anything like that? I guess we're not gonna know. I mean, I don't.
No,
I
we
don't
will.
know
100%. There's no way they cast Hayden and then they don't show his face. Like, come on, dude.
Right, you're right. Well, then it's gonna be trash then. It's gonna be horrible.
Because you
It's
can
gonna
see
be
his
completely
face?
horrible. Yeah, dude, I just don't want to see his face, bro. I don't.
Dude, that's
because,
unbelievable.
because if you see his face, there's the whole argument that we had last time with the Darth Vader, where it's like,
You don't think he was like intimidating as Vader in Revenge of the Sith?
no.
Oh my
No,
god, dude.
Dude, whenever he just like crushing stuff, man, he seems.
No. I'm not saying like in the Vader suit. I'm saying like once he's knighted as Darth Vader, he literally massacres everyone. Like, you don't think he's intimidating at that point?
No, not really. Not really, bro. I swear.
Dude,
Bro, I'm being for real. I'm being for real. I really don't think so.
dude,
Yeah,
Vader,
because
if like
What?
Vader without the suit is the most powerful Force user of all time.
you talking about that in between section, like right before he got into the lava and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, dude, if he was the most powerful, well, I honestly think that Vader in the suit is the most powerful. To be honest with you.
He can't fight.
100%.
He can't duel. Like, he just like he's so powerful that he just like overpowers people with his like fighting style. Like he doesn't like he has no lightsaber skill. Like you see that in the Obi-Wan fight. Like he can't even move. He's literally like all his limbs are machine limbs. And like I don't know if you know this, but the Emperor put him in a suit that's incapable of moving fast, so that it like held down his skill, because the Emperor was scared that he would overthrow him. So the Emperor gave him a suit that was like incapable of fighting like properly.
So maybe he was the most powerful out the suit, bro. But this is the thing: is that he just, him as an actor, completely honest with you, he does not, he doesn't intimidate me, bro. He doesn't like. I'm not scared of Vader.
Well, I
For
think
real. I'm not.
he'll prove you wrong. I think that the writing was really bad in the prequels, and then people blame the actor for some reason.
Because the way he delivered the lines, bro. He's so just like, hold on. I really want to, oh, man. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a good Hayden Christensen impression down, and I'm gonna do it one day
Do it right
because
now.
I,
Do it right now.
no, dude, I don't. Like I just the scenes with him and Padme, those romance scenes,
I'll be Padme. You be.
dude. No. Oh no, I really I ain't like him. I really didn't like him as Vader. He might. I'm curious to see how he does Vader. Like 100% honest with you. I mean, if if you got Vader acting up how he was in Rogue One, then yeah, that's gonna be fire, bro. I'm excited to see that.
No,
But I'm
that's going to be the Vader that we see. We're gonna see the
what
Rogue One Vader. It's just gonna
what do you
be
think?
Hayden in the suit, but I mean Hayden like
I'm
this is what's gonna happen. Okay, we're gonna see Hayden in the suit. Hayden in the suit looks perfectly fine. Like he has the right stature and everything to be to be Vader. But we're gonna see one scene when he fights Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's gonna like slash his helmet or something, and it's gonna be like half his helmet breaks off. We're gonna see like half of Hayden's face and half of Vader's face. Like, and we're gonna see like they're gonna look each other in the eye. Vader's gonna like have him defeated. They're gonna look each other in the eye, and then Vader's gonna let him go. Like he's gonna like feel bad for a second and then let him go, and that's gonna be the end of the show probably. It'll probably be the last episode, like the last like 5 minutes of the show, and something will happen like that. We'll see Hayden's face, and the show will end, and then we might like sprinkle in some flashbacks in there.
I hope they don't make Vader like weak at all, bro. No, I'm
No
just saying like
chance.
I hope that they don't make him like even feel bad for Obi-Wan. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Uh,
want him to be
I mean,
ruthless, bro.
at the end of
I
the
want him to be
day,
trying to kill Obi-Wan every single time.
all that ruthless stuff was just act, cause he went back to the good side at the end. So his soul was like split the whole time. So he does have that good in him. And
But you see how much he got, and I mean, you see how much force that he has. You know what I mean? Just him as a person, that is his collective, how much he got. He needs to fully go into that dark side. You know what I mean? And I
yeah,
guess yeah, I mean he's still trying to find his way, but he's fresh into the dark side. I want to see that man just going as hard as he was in them 20 minutes before he got in the lava. You know what I'm saying? See that type of Vader, like that type of mindset, bro. I love that. I'd be more excited to see that than it. Like that would be the most exciting part about the Obi-Wan Kenobi show coming up.
I don't
But
know.
I mean, I'm excited about it either way. To be honest with you, no
I
matter
want to
what's gonna
see
happen.
like the most amount of Anakin that we can. Like Anakin's my favorite. So like Anakin got me hooked on Star Wars. Like as I said, I just want to see Anakin. I want to see Hayden as Anakin. Like I want to see Clone Wars flashbacks. I want to see like Obi-Wan going through PTSD, having like episodes, and then like we see him like flashback while he's in the episode, and like we'll see like him and Hayden like having good moments together and all that stuff. Like, and I want to see Hayden fighting again, like as Anakin. I don't know, dude. I just want to see. I want to see so
Look,
much Anakin.
I tell you that'd be cool. Like as much as I hate on Hayden, as much as I do all this, every single time that I see like the clone or like the first episode, the second episode, even the third episode, like come up on TV, I'm watching that thing, like the entire, just because it's just cool to reminisce back to like we grew up on the movie, so it's like that's my
Yeah,
favorite part, is just seeing all like the nostalgia like that. You know, I
yeah,
feel old
for
even
sure.
just saying that. It's crazy, but yeah.
No, dude, you should feel young for saying that, bro. Cause like for a lot of people, those movies didn't come out that long ago. Like for like people that are like 50 years old right now, they're like, the
Yep.
prequels were like not even that long ago. Like the originals was what they grew up with, so they're not even feeling nostalgia really off this. They're just it's just another show, really. But I don't know. I going back to the hoping that they don't show Vader as weak thing. They did a show. I mean a movie. I mean a game called Jedi Fallen Order. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but I played that game like as soon as it came out. I played through the whole thing, and at the very end, Vader shows up. Spoiler. And they're like they don't even attempt to fight him. Like you just run away. Like Disney knows that you don't mess with Vader. Like you show him as ruthless as possible, or the fans will riot. And like literally, like there's two Jedi, the one that you're playing as and the one that's helping you. And like the one that's helping you says, like, pretty much just tells you to run away because you have no chance. And like you literally just turn around and run. Like you don't even try to fight him.
Yeah, there's no like the Vader is that like that dude. You know what I mean? Like he's the one that you just don't mess with.
Yeah.
Vader is he's.
I just don't feel like you should have any fear that they'll make him into like a like less powerful than he was in Rogue One. Like he's going to be that Vader,
Yeah.
like 100%. But we can move on. Maybe we'll come back to that at the end if we still have time left. There's like a bunch of shows to go through, so we'll move on a little bit. Next show is another one that you probably don't know anything about, but it's about Bad Batch, which they're like the Bad Batch of clones. So like there was a few, I think it's 4 clones that kind of got messed up when they were being cloned, like the clone troopers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they got messed up, but they all have like special abilities because they were mutated, and they all have like special abilities from their mutations. And it's going to take place during Order 66 and a little bit after. And do you know who Tarkin is? Moff Tarkin.
Who's Tarkin?
He's like Vader's number 2. Like he was in Rogue One too. He was the guy that they CGI'd into Rogue One. Like whatever. It's Vader's number 2. He was in the original trilogy, and he's gonna be in the show.
Oh, I think I know which one. He's an older dude?
Yeah.
With the gray cap or something like that.
I forgot what his name was. Like his actor name. It's like Peter something. I forgot what it was. But anyway, he's in the show. I don't even know how big of a role it is. I thought that was pretty cool that they put him in the trailer. But I don't know. Bad Batch might be pretty cool. I really wasn't excited for it at all until they said that it was taking place during Order 66. I think that's pretty cool. Like they showed the Emperor in the trailer giving his speech where he's like he's turning the Republic into the first galactic empire, like that speech from Revenge of the Sith. They show him giving that speech in the trailer. So it's obviously we don't know if those clones have the chips that all the other clones have that like force the clones to follow the Emperor's orders. Like I don't know if you know, but every clone has a chip in their head that forces them to follow the Emperor's orders. That's why they all killed the Jedi. And some of them took him out though. So we don't know if the Bad Batch will like follow Order 66 or not. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
It'll be cool.
Just to see like another perspective of Order 66.
The setup for that show seems like the most promising so far out of the
The
ones
thing
that
is,
we've
it's
talked over
animated.
so far.
It's animated. That's the only thing.
It's animated?
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't like it. I don't know. I think it'd be cool.
I don't like animation as much as live action, but I'm obviously gonna watch it because it's Star Wars. And then there's this new thing called Star Wars Vision that they're doing. It's gonna be a series of animated shows celebrating the movies, and it's gonna be made by anime creators. So it'll probably be in the like anime art style, but it's gonna be in English. It won't be in Japanese. Whatever. Like, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it, but like, it's. So there's this thing like a while back that George Lucas made, and they made 2 full seasons of a show, but it was like right as like the Disney acquisition was going through, so the show never saw the light of day. But they made 2 full seasons of it, and 1 episode got leaked like a month ago, and that's pretty much what this is. Like it's pretty much the same thing, but the George Lucas version wasn't like the anime art style. It was animated, but it was like a really good animation. And like the episode was actually pretty good for what it was. Like it was literally just them like going around. It was like a time period where Luke and Leia are like little kids, and they were pretty much just like learning about like Anakin's past and like, which doesn't actually make sense now that I'm thinking about it, because they don't whatever, but they're pretty
Yeah,
much
you
just
don't
like
know that.
learning about like it's like a history class for Luke and Leia pretty much.
I
That's what I
got you.
took from it from the episode, so that's probably what that's gonna be, just in an anime art style. But
So is that one? That one's also going to be animated too.
yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna look like an anime show. It's just gonna be in
That's a,
English.
that's dumb. It's about to be a live action anime. That's dumb. I don't know. I'm curious about that one. I'm not. I'm not big on the anime. That's
Yeah,
just
I'm
me
not.
though.
I'm not too excited about that, but I'm just glad that they're not doing like some. Like, I'm glad it's not like the Obi-Wan show that's gonna be anime art style. Like, I'm glad it's some stuff that's just like no one really cares about, you know. But
It's like some little extra stuff.
yeah,
Who
right.
knows? That might end up being like the best one. Like that. I mean, I'm not.
Highly doubt it. If that's the best one, then you're gonna have some huge
Destroy the whole
disappointments.
Disney stock going down, bro. That's the case.
But let's see. Oh yeah, the Lando show is next. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be live action or animated. They didn't say, and I can't find it anywhere, but I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure that it's going to be live action. So it's either going to be Donald Glover or Billy D. Williams. Uh, what do you think? Which one would you want?
Bro, neither, son. They keep that show, bro. They keep that
What?
show. 100% honest with you right now. This is real. The Solo movie was alright. It was
Nah,
okay.
it wasn't good.
What?
It wasn't. I didn't like it too much.
Okay. Yeah, well, I was alright. But the Lando character in that movie, horrible, bro. I just really like
What?
the way bro, it's
Dude,
horrible. That was my least favorite part about the movie too.
dude,
And I
I've never
love
seen
Donald
an.
Glover's my favorite, one of my favorite actors.
Nah, I swear he's like the most talented person on planet Earth. But
He's good. He's great. He does like a great job in everything. But the Lando thing, I wasn't really messing with it, dude. It was weird.
I
He was a
think
little weird on it.
I think he did really good, dude. But I feel like he got the mannerisms down perfectly, and like his speech patterns was really good. But
He wasn't as the Lando. What's the older dude's name? The
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D Williams. Billy D Williams, I feel like had like a cooler vibe to him than the one
Yeah,
that
Donald Glover's kind
Angelino
of like
portrayed.
incapable of like being like that. I feel like
He's a little
as much as I like
goofy.
him, he's like a little feminine, like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I know what you mean.
And like, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see Donald Glover get a check like that. You know what I mean? To see him like get casted in that. But plus, Billy D. Williams is probably gonna be weird watching the old man like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, just in a series like that. Like nobody, I would care more probably watching like a younger Lando than an older Lando. Like
Yeah,
nobody really. I don't care about an older Lando.
yeah. How's my camera out of focus, bro?
Here, let me focus it
All
for
right,
you. Hold on.
I'm good. We're good.
There we go. I got you, bro.
But I don't know. I don't know if you remember like the ending of the Rise of Skywalker, but whenever Lando was like sitting with that other girl, Janna, you know who that is? That
Yeah.
stormtrooper girl. He was
Yeah,
like,
I remember that.
he was like, where you from, kid? And then she was like, I don't know. He was like, you want to find out? Like, it was like that really weird ass scene. It was like very strange, but I feel like they were like throwing that. They were like, you have to put this scene in there to set up the Lando show. Like, I feel like it was like that type of thing. So that's why I feel like it's gonna be Billy D. Williams.
You
Which
gonna watch that one?
I'm gonna watch them all,
You watch
just
them all?
because it's Star Wars. But
Yeah, yeah.
I think that one, it might like draw in a lot of viewers because it might be the first thing that we like. It might be our first look at the universe post Rise of Skywalker. Because if it is Billy D, it has to be after the Rise of Skywalker, because of that setup, and then like we won't see any Force users or anything if that's what the show's about. Like if it's about them going find her family or whatever, it won't be any Force users. Like there'll be no Rey or anything, but we'll get to see what the universe is like because we have no idea. Like the First Order might still be very prevalent. Like we don't know, or might have a New Republic again. Really don't know. So That might make the show a little bit interesting.
No, that would be cool. And if it is Donald Glover, that's gonna be right. Is that gonna be before New Hope?
Yeah, probably. It'll probably be right right where Solo was, or maybe a little bit before, or maybe a little bit after. I would
So
assume it's like a little bit after Solo.
that's the only reason why I think it might be. Cause I get what you're saying. Why like they might have set up the scene like that to set up the Billy D. Williams. But if they're all gonna be sort of like coinciding, maybe eventually, whatever.
Yeah,
It might be able to coincide easier if it's right, if it's Donald Glover, if it's a younger Lando.
I don't know if they would possibly be able to make that one converge, because they said they didn't say anything about that. They said for Ahsoka and Rangers of the Republic that they were going to converge with Mandalorian. They didn't say anything about Lando. I don't know if they could possibly. I don't know if it's even possible for them to converge that, because like I don't see a timeline that would be interesting enough. That's like near the Mandalorian for Lando. Like we have no idea what Lando was doing at that time. So,
Yeah, you're right.
but I
It'd be
think it
cool to
would.
see Lando like fight Darth Vader.
Yeah, that'd be super cool, dude. Great
Donald
insight.
Glover's just super talented, bro. He might be able to take.
Let us sing him to death.
Come on.
But I don't know. I think it would be smarter for them to start getting Donald Glover in that role more if they want to do more with the character later, because it's sad, it's dark or whatever, but Billy D. Williams is getting old, so they got to start thinking about the future. So like if they want to do more with the character in the future, they can't keep relying on these old actors. So yeah, but we'll move on.
There's not about to be no Leia movie or Leia show that's
Come
coming
on,
out.
come on, come on. That ain't funny.
My bad, dude.
All right, so this show is might be the best one. It might be the one that I'm looking forward to the most, other than Obi-Wan. It's called Acolyte. Oh, I lost my spot. Oh yeah, it's a show. I'm also not sure if it's animated or live action, but I'm 99% sure it's live action. It's gonna be a Sith POV. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I
Okay.
guess I don't know what happened.
No, I think it was my internet. But all right, we're back. We're back. Thanks for liking the video, everybody. I appreciate all the likes. It's actually fucking way more than I thought. But anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah,
You was talking
Acolyte.
about you was talking about Acolyte.
So it's gonna be a Sith POV of the High Republic era. Well, it says the final days of the High Republic era. So it's probably gonna like literally be like exactly what the prequels were, where like the Sith take over, the Republic falls, and there's like a new order. So the High Republic era is supposed to be 300 to 400 years before the Skywalker saga, so before the Phantom Menace. But this is gonna be the final days of it. So I don't know how close this is gonna be to the Skywalker saga. This could be the day before the Phantom Menace, or it could be 100 years before the Phantom Menace. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that it's gonna be a Sith POV show, so we're gonna see a lot of Sith. It's gonna be Sith heavy. I know it's gonna be like a mystery type movie. They said it's gonna be really cool. Also, do you know who's alive during that time? Who would be alive during that time?
Darth Maul, son.
Shut up, bro. Not Darth Maul.
My bad, bro. Which one?
Who's the
Who
only
would be
person in
alive?
the Star Wars universe that could be alive at that time?
What you said? Who you said?
Who's the only person in the Star Wars universe that could be alive at that time?
I'm gonna say Yoda.
Yeah, Yoda. So we're gonna see
Okay.
Yoda in his prime.
Like Yoda as he's young.
Yeah, we're gonna see young Yoda. That's gonna be crazy. He might even be like a Padawan. Like he might not even be Master Yoda yet.
Dude, that'd be cool. See him getting like bullied and stuff like that. Like he's got like he's like a little nerd Yoda. They're like, we can't understand what the hell you saying. They just slap the shit out of him.
So like, do you know who Darth Plagueis is?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking it could be about him, which
That whole
would be
show, like,
crazy.
acolytes like focused around him.
Yeah.
Plagueis is the one that trained Palpatine, huh?
Yeah, and Palpatine killed him.
Oh,
So,
I didn't know that.
dude, this could be insane. Cause I don't know if you know. I really don't know how much of this is like deep Star Wars knowledge or not. So, like, I'm not trying to call you dumb. I'm just saying, like, I just don't know if people pick up on this. But like, you know how when Palpatine was talking to Anakin, he was like, "Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?"
Yeah, I remember that part.
So I'm thinking we could be shown the story of Darth, like the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Like we could be, that could be what the show's about.
If they do that, that would be, I would like that.
And another thing we could see in that is young Palpatine.
And so far out of the ones that we talked about, this one might be my favorite. Like I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna go look up a little bit more on this one because I like the Sith as it is. Like I like that. Like I like the darker
Bro,
part of it. You know what I mean?
this show has definitely the most potential. Plus, it's not limited, so we could see 7, 8 seasons of this show. Like this show could be insane. Like, okay,
That was definitely.
you got any ideas for like who you would want them to cast as young Palpatine?
For a young Palpatine,
Yeah.
definitely not Hayden Christensen.
Shut up,
My
bro.
bad, my bad.
Like, This,
I don't know.
dude, if you keep slandering Hayden Christensen, it's gonna be the last show. I swear.
Yo, my
I'm
bad.
gonna
I'm about to get a
replace you.
t-shirt.
You're gonna be taken
I'm
off
gonna
the
get a t-shirt.
payroll.
I'm gonna get a t-shirt with his face on it next time. Next year. For a young Palpatine, it would have to be. The thing is, how young would he be? Would he be like somebody like our age, or would he be more or less like a?
I'm thinking probably 25, somewhere around there. If they show him, it's like a very like off chance that he'll even be shown. But I'm just saying, like, it's possible. Like, just theory crafting, who would you want to be a young Palpatine at like age 25 to 30?
I think, honestly, bro. I mean, I like Ryan Reynolds. I think that would be a cool one to have as Palpatine, bro. I don't know. I mean, I don't have too many.
You gotta think of people something. In my opinion, like to play a Sith, when I usually think about this, I think of like roles like Magneto type roles, or you ever seen the Dark Tower?
Mark Tower.
Yeah, it has Idris
Mhm.
Elba and Matthew McConaughey. Well, Matthew McConaughey plays a villain in that movie, and he plays it like extremely well. He doesn't really look like Palpatine at all, so he couldn't. I'm just saying like that type of role, like Magneto type role.
That's weird because I was gonna say McConaughey as like I was gonna say that one as like the first one to be
The only
real.
thing is like McConaughey's like real like tan, so like Palpatine's real white. So I don't know. I don't know if that'll work, but McConaughey definitely is very good at playing villains. I know that. I want to see him. I want to see McConaughey as Magneto one day. I think he'll be a perfect Magneto. But you watch
The
Marvel
young,
Marvel
uh,
movies?
yeah, like all the Marvel movies. Yeah,
So you know who plays Loki?
yeah, that's Tom Hiddleston,
Yeah, I feel like he would be a perfect Palpatine. Young
dude.
Palpatine.
I'm not even. Yeah, no, definitely. I see it now because they even have like sort of like a resemblance to each other.
Mhm.
Like a younger. He just looks like a younger. Who played Palpatine? I don't even know the actor who played Palpatine.
And I'm
But
blanking on it.
but he looks just like him.
Can't believe I'm blanking on this name, bro. Let me see. I gotta think of it now. Anyway, you can't just be sitting here thinking of a name, but
My bad. No, I mean I think that Tom Hiddleston would be a good one. I mean, everybody already loves him as an actor, and like that would just bring in more people to watch the Star Wars like show.
yeah.
That was definitely gonna have to have a good cast because it's all like that storyline is just too good to not. You don't like they can't mess that one up. You know what I mean?
I want to see it sounds kind of weird, but I want to see like a female Sith. Like every female Sith they've had so far is like really cool. Like you haven't watched the animated shows, so it's tough. But they got
No,
like
didn't they have a bald one?
yeah,
A bald Sith or something? Yeah, she was hard, dude.
Asajj Ventress maybe, or Yeah, Asajj Ventress, I think it is. It's
Yeah, no,
Dooku's
I remember
apprentice.
watching her, dude.
Yeah, she's like real cool. And then like Seth Ray looked pretty cool.
This Ray did look
Other
cool.
than the spiky teeth, like that was pretty dumb. She was cool until she showed her teeth. But Yanni, like, what's your like excitement level for that show?
I'd say that one is probably the highest. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go.
Well, we're not finished all the shows yet, but like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, that one would be definitely 10 so far. Or I give it a 10 for its potential, but I'm gonna give it an 8 just because
We don't know too many details yet.
I don't know too much about it yet.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say an 8 because we don't know the cast, we don't know who's directing it, we don't know anything. So it could be like a awful cast, like we don't know. So I'm gonna say an 8 for now, and I would give the Obi-Wan show a 10. But
Yep.
we can move on. There's not too many announcements left, but we still got to get through a decent amount. So this one we don't really have to talk about too much, but I'm gonna just mention it for the sake of the video. It's called A Droid Story. It's gonna be R2D2 C3PO going on a secret mission. Could be kind of fun, but who cares? Like honestly, like who cares, bro? That's for like the little kids. That's gonna be for the little kids for sure.
I know I heard about this one. Unless like they make it super super funny, I don't see this.
It's
one
not gonna be.
being-
It's just not for us. It's for the little kids.
Because the droids were always like comedic relief, like in the movies or something. You know, like CP3PO would, C3PO would say some dumb stuff. Yeah, bro, I'm retarded, but it's like, you know what I'm saying.
I mean, dude,
They-
like they are the only ones that's been through all 9 movies, so like they got some cool stuff in their memories. But I don't know, man. Like it's got to be for the kids because the adults ain't watching it. But let's move on. So the last 2 announcements that were made were both about feature films. So there's 2. I feel like most people are excited about one of them, but I'm excited about the opposite one. We're going to save the one that I'm most excited for last. I'm not sure how excited you'll be for it because there's not too many details. But for one of them, we do have a lot of details. And have you seen the Wonder Woman movies?
No, I haven't seen those yet.
Or there's only one out, but next one comes out in like 10 days or whatever. And the reviews are really good. I'm actually not sure what else she's directed, but Patty Jenkins is the director of the new movie. Let me see. Patty Jenkins is she did Wonder Woman, and I'm blanking on what else she did, but I know she's done at least one other like big movie. But oh yeah, she directed like some Entourage episodes and stuff. But she's a real good director, and I was like kind of scared that they would like bring in a female director just for the sake of it, because like Star Wars has been like very much reprimanded, like not reprimanded, but you know, criticized for not having a female director yet. Like they haven't had any female directors for the shows they have, but not for the movies. So I was scared that they would bring in like a really bad one, like I don't know, whoever did like Charlie's Angels or whatever. I forgot what that woman's name is, but she's bad news.
Just to do it, like
Yeah.
just to be politically correct.
Right. But no, I
Yeah.
really feel like they got the best director for the job for this movie. Like I really do feel like that. Like I don't feel like they went and got a female for the sake of it. I feel like cuz okay. This movie's going to be about Rogue Squadron. You know, so like the pilots or whatever, like Rogue One,
Yeah.
Rogue 2, Rogue 3, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about Patty is she's been in F-16s. Like her dad was in the military. He was like a military pilot, and so she was like, she knows like what it feels like to be inside of them. So like that's gonna be like super realistic. I think we're gonna see another Rogue One type movie with this. Also, her dad died in like an F-16 crash, so she has like a very like big emotional attachment to it. So I feel like she can make like a really good movie, like because of her emotional attachment to it. So I'm hoping that we get like some type of like, I don't know, like a Rogue One type movie, but in space. Would you want to see that, like a space battle, like with X-wings and stuff?
Yeah. Dude, those were my favorite parts to play on the Star Wars Battlefront. You know how you could like run with those ships and just do the different like fighting in space. That was my favorite part of the game.
It's crazy because
Whenever,
they just released a game called, I think it's called Rogue Squadron, and like it's that part of Battlefront, but it's only that, like it's only the ships, and I'm honestly not too interested in it. Like I'm not, but and dude, to be honest with you, when I first heard it's called Rogue Squadron, I wasn't interested at all. I was like, come on, like we're watching Star Wars for the Force users. Like we're not here to watch the fighter pilots. But once I watched the trailer and I saw like how emotionally invested she was gonna be in the movie, I was like, dude, this movie is gonna be good. Like there's no question.
yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if she has the like what you just said beforehand, how she has like that actual attachment to making a good movie. Like if it was somebody who was just she was on payroll and it was like, all right, well, we're just hiring you because we have to hire a woman or something. But the fact that they got her, and she specifically has an attachment not only to being a good director, because Wonder Woman, I heard a lot of good stuff about it, but she had to deal with like a lot of the people in the air. What's it like the pilots and all that stuff like that, I guess, or
Yeah.
she knows all that stuff. So I think that she might do it justice.
Just like
She's
her being able to like from experience, like personal experience, knowing what it feels like to be inside of an F-16. Like that's huge cuz bro, I don't know if you remember like the opening, not the opening, but like in the very beginning of The Force Awakens when they're in that like when they're in the Millennium Falcon with Rey and Finn, that scene of them like running away from the TIE fighters is like amazingly realistic. Like it's ridiculous how realistic that scene is. I feel like it's gonna be like a whole lot of that. Like it's gonna be a whole lot of like holy shit, that feels so real. Like it's gonna feel like we're inside the cockpit like the whole time. That's what I think.
they're gonna definitely have to make some better. Like they're gonna have to take advantage of that and get some good shots, because if the whole thing is just how they usually do a fight in the Star Wars movies and then they'll just show like the dude just like sitting there and they're
Yeah.
just like staring.
And then
Do
the
not want to
fire will go
watch.
behind him. He'll be like, ah, and he's dead.
Yeah, bro. I do not want to watch a movie of like 2 hours where it's just that like nonstop. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna have to have something. First, they're gonna have to have like a maybe like a more dynamic storyline than just like fighting in the air or something. But yeah,
hmm
they have to take advantage of the shots because I think they can have as much fun with it as they can. Really dive
Also,
deep into that.
also forgot to mention that this is going to be 100% after the Rise of Skywalker. So this is going to be our first, like 100% our first movie in that time period after the Rise of Skywalker. So we're 100% going to see what the universe is like after the Rise of Skywalker for that movie. And I would be extremely surprised if we don't see any Force users in the movie at all. I'm sure Rey will make a cameo somewhere in there. Like she's gonna be, she's got to be in the movie. Like have they done any movies without a Force user? Like I don't think they have, cause like even Solo had Darth Maul at the very end. Rogue One had Vader. Other than that, they're all about the Skywalkers. So
Yeah.
they haven't done a show or movie with no Force users before. I don't see them starting now. I thought the Mandalorian was gonna be the one, if there was going to be one. I was like really scared because I was like, so I watched a show called Rule of Two, and they explained it perfectly. They were like, if Star Wars is McDonald's, the Force is like a Big Mac. Like you can't have McDonald's without a Big Mac.
Yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
like we were very
That's their
scared
bread
that,
and butter.
yeah, right. We were very scared that the Mandalorian would have no Big Mac, but they have the Big Mac with Baby Yoda, and now they have Ahsoka, all these other Force users. Like Star Wars is about the Big Mac. So I have a hard time after they brought so many Force users into the Mandalorian. I have a hard time feeling like they're not gonna have Force users in Rogue Squadron or in any movie from here on out. So I that fear is kind of, it's still there, but I don't feel like it's too like rational, honestly.
Even if they aren't the main character, they're gonna be in the movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
which is like that's fine. Like I I would rather it be about Force users, like solely about Force users, but As long as we get some Force user. Would you want to see Ray come back at all? You got any interest in that?
Yeah, I would. What I would like to see if they could, I think that this would be the perfect opportunity to introduce a newer like Jedi or a new Force user. Like picture if somebody who's a part of the Rogue Squadron, like they just starting to figure out that they got Force powers or something like that. You know, like they start off on as like a pilot or something, but they secretly are hiding the fact that they're a Force user. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could be
I don't
cool.
know. That'd be sick. That'd be real cool if they did that.
Yeah, but like, say they like at the end of that movie, Ray makes a small cameo. I don't know. I haven't put much thought into this, but let's just say like they set her up for a future movie or a future show. Would you want to see more of Ray, like in her own movie or her own show? No.
Nah, nah. I wouldn't want to. I'm not trying to get misogynistic or nothing like that, but I'm just messing with you. I like Ray. I think that we seen enough of Ray, to be honest with you, man. I think that we seen her in the first in the newest three movies. She needs to I think if she could almost take a like the Obi-Wan Kenobi role in
Yeah.
episode 2 where she's like a mentor or something. If she becomes a mentor, that's her role like 100%, you
No,
know.
that's what I
I
was about
think
to say. I wouldn't mind seeing Ray come back if she was like a mentor figure to someone. Like if the movie wasn't about her. Like if it was about so obviously at the end of the Rise of Skywalker they bury the lightsabers. That's obviously setting it up for someone to find those lightsabers. I would like to see if someone else that they are like someone else that's already established. So like let's say they announce another trilogy. We have all new Force users. They establish a good character in one movie. The next movie, they go and they find those lightsabers, and they find Ray there, and then Ray becomes the mentor for the rest of that movie. Then maybe the first half of the third movie, and then there's the climax without Ray in the second half of the third movie. Something like that would be fine with me, but I don't want to see a whole nother trilogy about Ray, obviously. But a TV show wouldn't be too bad. I don't think. Especially if she's like communicating with Kyle, like Ben Solo's Force Ghost. I think that would be cool.
that would honestly, yeah, that would probably be the best thing if they had her. If they gave her her own spin-off show and then kept her in the movies as a mentor, you know. But the thing is once they killed her in the movies, then they would have to end the show, you know. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Depend.
I don't.
I don't
It
think they would
depends.
have a movie and a show going on at the same time. Like they wouldn't do that. Like not about the same characters.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I would most likely like to see her as a just as a mentor figure. I
Yeah.
would I would like her like 100% more as a mentor figure, you know, in the new movies.
Yeah, me too. Um. So I take it that you didn't like Ray's character too much then.
It's Ray's character. The thing is that Ray's character was very very good, but the movies just sort of ruined the character for me. You know what I mean? I'm biased towards a lot of the characters in those movies. Um,
Yeah.
in those last three. Ray's character as it was in the first one was named Force Awakens, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, Force Awakens, she was awesome. Like she was really like one of my like she was probably my top like five or something like that. But as the movie just kept on going on, sort of left like a bad taste in my mouth for that character. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean,
Nah.
it just you always need to change. Like the franchise needs to keep on evolving, keep on moving. If you're trying to milk something for too long, it's always gonna get old. You know what I mean? So if
Yeah.
they just change and you
I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I like Ray, but I I feel like her story is just it's her story's told already. Like we don't really need too much more explanation on Ray, but we can move on to the next one. So the last one is the one. Wait, what's up?
unless and this would be crazy, but it just has to be some dramatic change in the character. You know what I mean? Like you know how Anakin went from in the first three movies, they told Anakin's story, and then boom, now it's sort of like it's Luke Skywalker's story, but you still have Anakin as a as Darth Vader. if they can switch the dynamic of her character, then it
Yeah.
show she
So it could be
you can
like kind of passing the baton to like the next generation or whatever. Just like they did. I don't want to get into this argument, but like just like they did with Han Solo, Luke, and Leia in the sequel trilogy, it could be like Rey could be in that type of role. But
yeah.
yeah, I agree with that. So the last one is one that I'm most excited about, even though we gotta wait a pretty long time for it. I think it said 2023. Uh, have you seen Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah. I love that movie, dude. That was
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
So the director of that movie is doing a Star Wars movie, and he is my favorite director in the world right now. So like when I heard that announced, that got announced a while ago, but it was confirmed the like whatever that was Thursday. Uh, so I got super excited about that. We have no details on the movie. We don't know what it's about, but as you know, if you've seen Ragnarok or any Taika Waititi movie, his like approach to things is a lot different than other directors. Like he's very like I don't even know how to describe it. He does comedy in like such a different way than everyone else. And they said, dude, see, this is what they need to start doing. We need to start giving props to Kathleen Kennedy and to Lucasfilm for like their like their own character development. Like they have learned from their mistakes so much. At first, like sequel trilogy, they hired J.J. Abrams because he's the hot director at the time. They hire Ryan Johnson because he's the hot director at the time. They're hiring people now because they know they're right for the project that they're going to be on, and they're giving them free reign. Like for the Rise of Skywalker, I don't fully blame J.J. Abrams because I've heard a lot of rumors that there's a whole different cut of the movie, and there actually was announced a runtime, and then they changed the runtime. And I heard that Disney made him change a lot of things like in the story, including the Kylo Ren death scene, which felt super awkward. Apparently, that was supposed to be like way longer, the scene, and you can definitely tell that something was off there. Like that scene was extremely awkward. So anyway, they need to start giving directors more free reign, and I feel like they learned that by giving The Mandalorian over to Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, how good stuff can be whenever creators are allowed to create. And what they said for the Taika Waititi movie is that he's going to have an extremely different approach, a different and fresh approach to Star Wars, which to me means that they're letting Taika Waititi have free reign with this movie. He's going to be allowed to create what he wants to create with the movie, which means the movie is going to be great because everything that Taika touches turns to gold every single time. That dude is a mastermind. He's such a genius, and I know that movie is going to be like. I feel like when that movie comes out, the Star Wars fandom is going to be like on a whole nother level. Not only like in terms of the numbers, like that movie is going to bring in all the Marvel fans that liked Ragnarok and all. And it's also going to just make the entire fandom like extremely happy because I know that movie's going to be amazing. But you got
You
any
don't
thoughts
think
on
that
that?
yeah, no, you don't think that Disney's gonna like pull the same type of stuff that they pulled with you don't think that they will?
No, because they learned their lesson with The Mandalorian. Like I said, they gave John and Dave. If you don't know who Dave Filoni is, which you probably don't, he created the Clone Wars. He was kind of like when George Lucas was still around. Even now, still, he was George Lucas's like little prodigy. Like he taught George taught him everything that he knew. Like he is George Lucas, like a younger form of George Lucas. Like that's what he is. He knows everything. Like he's forgotten more Star Wars than I will ever learn. Like he knows everything about Star Wars. They gave him free reign. They gave him full creative freedom with The Mandalorian, and it's a huge hit. Like people that aren't even Star Wars fans love The Mandalorian. So now they like, oh my god, if we give these creators room to create, they make great stuff and make us a lot of money. So what did they
Yeah.
do? They give John and Dave 2 more shows, and they let them combine them with The Mandalorian. Like they let Filoni create his whole own Marvel Cinematic Universe inside of Star Wars. Like they've obviously learned their lesson, and they wouldn't hire Taika Waititi unless they're gonna give him. You don't hire Taika Waititi to create like a run of the mill movie. Like they know what they're getting with Taika, and that's what he wouldn't sign on unless they let him do whatever he wants to do.
That makes sense. Like they're not gonna. You can't give him the responsibility without giving him free range. You know what I mean?
And he
I get
wouldn't
that.
he wouldn't want the job unless like you got to know who Taika is. If you know who he is, he doesn't play around. Like he doesn't need any big production company to make an amazing movie. He doesn't need Star Wars at all. He would only do it if he thought that the project was going to be extremely fun. Cuz he still dude, he's probably the busiest director right now. He directed some Mandalorian episodes from the last season. He's doing another Thor movie. He's doing imagine, dude, in the next 3 years, this man will have put out a Marvel movie and a Star Wars movie. That is like,
That's
dude,
crazy.
if I could set one like goal to reach in my entire life as a director, it would be direct a Star Wars movie. If someone were to tell me that I was going to direct a Marvel movie and a Star Wars movie in the span of 3 years, like, I would literally laugh like in their face. Like, there's no way, dude. Like, that guy must be on cloud 9 right now.
I mean, he did, because I was always thinking it's like, yeah, Disney's gonna be the type to, they want to be family friendly, they want to keep it like PG and all that stuff. But with Thor Ragnarok, I mean, Disney owned Marvel then, and yeah, to Taika Waititi, he did that movie.
They let
That
him
was
do.
like
I
one
was
of my
literally thinking
favorite
about that
Marvel
earlier
movies.
today. That movie was not too PG. Like,
Yeah,
it was like, I remember I was thinking about the jokes, and I don't know. So he played the character of Korg. Taika Waititi played that character, the big rock dude. So he also acts in like most of the movies that he directs. And you remember, dude? You know what Jojo Rabbit is? It was like that movie about Hitler. It
hmm
was like a comedy movie about Hitler. He plays Hitler in that movie. Like the dude is hilarious. The dude is hilarious
Really, I didn't know he
as an
played Hitler in
actor
that.
and as a director. But anyway, I remember like, dude, that one scene with Korg when him and like Thor are interacting, and they're talking about Thor's hammer. He was like, I can spin it around and it'll pull me off the ground. And Korg was like, oh my god, the hammer pulled you off. Like, dude,
Yeah,
that's not too PG, and that's hilarious, dude. Like, and also,
it,
I think they're going away from PG only content because they're getting damn, I literally just, oh yeah, Deadpool, and they said Deadpool is gonna be rated R. So, and then also like outside of the United States, they're
Disney.
putting
Sorry.
rated R content on Disney Plus. So
Dang. I guess it's just been a while since I've like kept up with the Disney stuff because whenever I was used to watching Disney, it was always like sort of like they would go out of their way to make it corny, even as long as it's just like family friendly.
right,
But it seems like they're starting to learn a little bit more from the mistakes.
no, dude, 100%. Like, people have been like shitting all over Kathleen Kennedy, who's the head of Lucasfilm, and like people don't realize this, but George Lucas handpicked Kathleen Kennedy right before he sold Lucasfilm to Disney. He handpicked Kathleen Kennedy to be the head of Lucasfilm, the executive producer. People were shitting on her for so long because of the sequel trilogy, rightfully so. Like she messed up. Like over and over we got these movies announced. Over and over they got directors fired, producers fired, actresses fired for creative differences. Over and over and over they announced these movies. We get all hyped up, and then the director's fired for creative differences. Director leaves for creative differences. And that's on Kathleen Kennedy every time. Also, there was no plan for the sequel trilogy. That's on Kathleen Kennedy. But we got to start giving her credit where her credit is due. She learned from her mistakes. She didn't know. She's not a creative person. She's not a storyteller. She tried to be, and it messed up. Now she's giving the creative side of things to Dave Filoni and to the directors. Now our storytelling is going to be good. Kathleen Kennedy knows how to handle the business stuff. That's where she needs to stay, and she's learned that. Like, she's handling the business, and she's letting the creatives be creative, and we got to give her credit for that. Like, that's she messed up, but now she's learned from her mistake. And if Kathleen Kennedy is only on the business side of things. She is one of the best producers in the history of Hollywood. Like, she has produced all the Indiana Jones, or I don't know about all of them, but most of the Indiana Jones movies. 3 of the highest grossing movies of all time in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. Whether or not you like the story, they made a shit ton of money, and she produced those movies. And you got to give her credit for The Mandalorian as well. And then all these upcoming shows, they don't go through without Kathleen Kennedy saying that they can go through.
I mean, I said it once, I said it again. Disney in their bag right now, son. Like 100%. They really in their bag.
So
these shows are looking good.
Yeah. So, of all the stuff that we talked about, what would you say you're most excited for?
I would say it's a toss-up between Acolyte and then Obi-Wan Kenobi, man. Honestly. I mean, just because Obi-Wan Kenobi, I know it's going to be knock out the park. You know what I'm saying? I know that it's going to, like, they have everything that...
It would be hard for them to make it bad. Also, I don't mean to cut you off, but the person that they hired to direct Obi-Wan. So for The Mandalorian, they do a different director for each episode. For Obi-Wan, they hired one director. Her name's Deborah Chow. And she has directed some Mandalorian episodes. Every episode that she's directed so far has been amazing. So I know she knows Star Wars. And I know that she's a really good director. So just another positive thing going on about the Obi-Wan show. But you can continue.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Obi-Wan, that one looks like it's going to be solid, 100%, no doubt. But Acolyte, I'm really curious just because of how good the story is. The story looks, like from a cis point of view, that I've always been curious. I've always been, like, I like the dark side way more than I like the, Jedi's and all that.
Yeah, me
But,
too. I've always said that, like, villains make movies. Heroes don't make movies. Villains make movies.
Yeah. I don't know, those are cooler to me. And then the, what is it? Is it Bad Batch? I think that's probably my third favorite one that I'm gonna be excited for.
Yeah, I mean, they were in the Clone Wars final season. I watched their episodes, and they were okay. I'm not, like, extremely excited for it, but I'm gonna watch it. I'm just, like, the thing about it is I'm not a big animated show person. Like, that's just not my thing. So the fact that it's animated kind of takes away some excitement for me, but the fact that it's during Order 66 and a little bit after, I think we're going to see, like, some Vader scenes in it, like in the suit Vader scenes. So that gets me a little bit excited for it, but
yeah, no, those three are my top thing out of all the ones that got announced.
So I would say, just because we don't know too many details on Acolyte yet, I would probably put Obi-Wan above that, and also Hayden Christensen's in Obi-Wan. So I would put Obi-Wan first, probably by a landslide at this point until we get more details on Acolyte. And then third, the Taika Waititi movie. I know it's, like, going to be a long time till we see it, but that's really what I'm waiting on. Like, honestly, if I could pick one thing out of all of this, if I had to pick one, I would pick the Taika Waititi movie, even though I know nothing about it. It's just, like, it's a dream come true to me, because we got Taika Waititi, my favorite director right now by far. And, like, honestly, this is a whole different discussion, but I feel like, to me, Christopher Nolan is the best director of all time. That's, like, super controversial, because a lot of people will say Steven Spielberg, a lot of people will say Martin Scorsese, whatever. But to me, Christopher Nolan makes my type of movies. Like, that's my type of movies. I love those movies. I think he's the best of all time. I think by the time it's said and done, by the time Taika Waititi retires, his portfolio will be way better than Christopher Nolan's. I think Taika Waititi is going to be the best director of all time, and it won't be close, because that dude is still young. He's probably, like, 35 or something. Christopher Nolan got to be getting close to, like, mid-50s, maybe 60s at this point.
Yeah.
So he got time on his side. To be directing a Star Wars movie, and he directed a Marvel movie, like, 4 years ago already. Dude, to be directing a Marvel movie at, like, under 35 years old, that's insane.
Bro, now you mentioned his name. Now I'm sort of curious. Why don't they ever get Christopher Nolan to film one of that? I mean, dude, he does the sci-fi movies. Like,
I don't think he would want to. Christopher Nolan likes to make his own stories. He don't like to have any like source material.
boundaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I just he comes up with all these with all those different sci-fi movies. It's like he would fit that role good. It'd be cool to see what he does with it.
No,
But
that would be amazing, but I don't
yeah,
think it would ever happen.
if he did a Star Wars movie.
That's like a thing
Yeah.
that's like they're like fan fiction shit all the time. Like every single YouTuber that I watch, people are asking, "What if Christopher Nolan did a Star Wars movie?" And everybody's like, "Yeah, that would be amazing, but it would never happen."
Yeah. I know I'm excited by the Taika movie. I mean, if I had to choose one that if I could rush for if it happened tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted to just to not wait for it, it'd probably be that movie just because I want to see what they're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
Because are they gonna continue the story, they can continue the series, or is it just gonna be another like single movie?
See,
You know?
I am kind of nervous about that because I feel like because it's Taika, and because they said he's gonna have a fresh and different, like, view of things, I'm kind of scared that they're gonna do some like one-off movie that they don't really care about too much. Like I feel like they might, but at the same time, I think there's no way because it's all the way in 2023. But also, he has to do Thor Ragnarok for now, so it could just be a scheduling issue. But I'm really scared that they're gonna do some throwaway type movie. Oh man, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not liking the sound of that. I'm hoping that he does like a main saga movie. Like I hope he kicks off the new era of Star Wars. That's what I feel like it's gonna be.
It would be cool because you'd get such a fresh perspective on it, and you just get a whole different take on the Star Wars. Because Star Wars sort of they almost do a off-brand version of Taika's like style.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like you know how they do like those like it's just like a really bad version of it. It's like they do like the little jokes here and there, and it's like it's just so forced and
The Marvel humor doesn't work in Star Wars. Like they need to stop trying to put Marvel humor in Star Wars.
Yeah,
But I don't think
that's
Taika does Marvel humor. I think Taika does Taika humor. Like I don't think the Thor Ragnarok humor is normal Marvel humor.
yeah. No, Ragnarok was one of my favorites because it was so different from normal Marvel humor.
Right.
Because it can get outplayed really easily, and it gets outplayed immediately in Star Wars. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not, I mean, I'm excited about really like all of them, but I mean those three that I mentioned, and then the Taika movie. Eventually, it's just so far away, and then I don't really know nothing about it.
yeah.
You know.
No, yeah, nobody knows anything about it other than it's Taika Waititi, but that's really all they have to say for everyone to get excited. Like they knew what they were doing. They don't need to say shit. It's like Taika Waititi's doing a Star Wars movie. Like I'm in. And that's how everybody's thinking really.
Yeah.
Well, that's really it. I mean, there's really nothing else. Like, you got something else you want to talk about?
No, let's save it for next time, bro. We was gonna talk about that big thing, but let's wait till next time for that.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
He knows
don't.
what you're talking about. Yeah, bro.
I honestly have no idea what you're talking about, but I don't think I want to know. But
You already know, bro.
thank you everybody for watching. Thanks for liking, subscribing, all that stuff, and see you next week.
Yeah.